Convicted murderer Alex Murdaugh got a heck of a lot closer to getting a new trial this week than almost anyone expected. After a stunning statement, under oath, from one of the 12 jurors who found him guilty of murdering his wife and son last year, saying her guilty verdict was influenced by the court clerk, Becky Hill, which is exactly what the defense had been arguing, that Hill effectively tampered with the jury and helped convince them to find Murdaugh guilty.
Did you hear Ms. Becky Hill make any comment about this case before your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
If yes, what did Ms. Hill say?
To watch his actions.
To watch his actions? What else?
To watch him closely.
Was your verdict influenced in any way by the communications of the clerk of court in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And how was it influenced?
To me, it felt like she made it seem like he was already guilty.
All right, and I understand that. That's the tenor of the remarks she made. Did that affect your finding of guilty in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that if you're the defense, right? The judge had already ruled that Murdaugh's team would have to prove Hill's alleged comments actually impacted the verdict. And that juror said it impacted the verdict. But then the judge also read back a previous statement from that same juror, and this is critical.
I had questions about Mr. Murdaugh's guilt, but voted guilty because I felt pressured by the other jurors. Is that an accurate statement about your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Influenced by the court clerk? Not okay. Influenced by other jurors? Part of the process. Hill denied the allegations against her when she took the stand.
At any time, did you tell the jury not to be fooled by evidence presented by Mr. Murdaugh's attorneys?
I did not.
At any time, did you instruct the jury to watch him closely and look at his actions?
I did not.
At any time, did you instruct the jury or tell the jury to look at his movements?
No.
Judge not happy with Becky Hill, but in the end ruled the impact of her actions, or alleged actions, did not warrant a new murder trial.
Ms. Hill was attracted by the siren call of celebrity. I simply do not believe that the authority of our South Carolina Supreme Court requires a new trial. Back here in studio with Geraldo Rivera and Jesse Weber. But let's start with Rachel Juarez on this, judge on TV's Hot Bench and an experienced litigator. Pretty good appeal issue for Alex Murdaugh, no?
It's going to be a fascinating appeal issue. Look, I personally was not particularly surprised that the judge found there was not grounds for a new trial. The legal bar for a new trial is so tremendously high when you're talking about what happens in jury deliberations, which are supposed to be a black box. But you have one juror that testified under oath that her verdict was influenced. So it's going to be a fascinating appeal. And I think in this case, you also had a judge who was very acutely aware this is going up on appeal and did everything within her power to try to protect her ruling.
Well, actually,
so I got my popcorn.
She actually tried to clean up. She tried to clean up the juror's mess. Let me play this. Yep. This is the judge.
She sure did.
And this is number one here. And listen to the defense attorneys get furious as the judge does this. Let's listen.
Juror Z, I asked you previously, was your verdict on March the 2nd, 2023 influenced in any way by communications from Becky Hill, the clerk of court? You answered that question, yes. In light of what you said in the affidavit, which is I had questions about Mr. Murdaugh's guilt, but voted guilty because I felt pressured by the other jurors. Is that answer that I just read a more accurate statement of how you felt?
Yes.
Overruled.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you do stand by the affidavit?
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of cleaning up the mess there.
I think that I would be so disappointed if they gave this murdering dog another trial. He kills his wife, he kills his son, just like everyone. They don't get it, these guys, these egotists, these narcissists. They don't get that if your wife is killed, you're the suspect, I don't care what the circumstances are. There's a very strong presumption that despite however slick you think you've been, however alibi-laden you are, that ultimately they're going to see through it. They're going to see that you murdered your wife. Whatever in your murder, right? All the men want to murder their wives because they have a girlfriend, because they want to cover up their financial crimes, because the son's a pain in the ass. Whatever it is, Murdaugh was guilty. You know, he blew the privileges that he was given, the multi-generation, the legacy of this family. He destroyed everything for his own selfish narcissism. And I believe that that judge was excellent in cleaning up. And if they retry this guy, he'll be found guilty again.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.